Hi and welcome back to my channel and to this video of the Alps Divide Ultra 2025.
We found our natural position. No pressure. And like that, it starts. Bon voyage. Indeed, bon voyage.
This wasn't kind of in the plan for the year. I signed on rather late for this event, just the Monday before, after finding out there was a spare space and I had the time and the capability to do that at the last minute. So big shout out to Katie, Jane and Lee for accommodating me right at the last minute. Having signed on late though, I kind of hadn't had the opportunity to do all of the preparation work that I would normally do for an ultra event like this. You know, check the route, look for resupply spots, all that sort of thing. But kind of being in the Alps, I had a fair idea that it would be there would be plentiful amounts of resupply. I had the high level numbers, you know, 1,050 kilometers, 33,000 or 32,000 meters of climbing or elevation gain, and a little over 8 days to complete this mixture of on-road and off-road, but really didn't know the detail, you know, what came next in the route. So kind of signed on hoping that I would benefit from residual fitness that I had from the summer doing the Hellenic mountain race and El Piri and a little bit here and there, but I'd done no kind of training in August at all leading up to the event. So I was hoping I would ride into form, and well, kind of did, but those first couple of days really hit me hard, as you'll see in this video. So the race starts on the Côte d'Azur coastline in Menton, just to the east of Monaco and Nice, just before the Italian border, and winds its way up from the Col de Madone onto across the Italian border through Sospel onto what's known as the Salt Road. Now, my first day was to kind of negotiate up to that Salt Road climb to the refuge that's just before the Salt Road begins. So I managed to do 100 kilometers that day. The heat really hit me. It was 36 degrees in the direct sunlight, and really made an impact on me.
Thought I would do a quick catch up so far. It's 6:20, so 6 hours in. I'm at just shy of 80 kilometers. Done 2.5, maybe 3,000 meters of climbing, I think. It's been so hot, and so I've been struggling to make sure that I don't cramp up. Just trying to keep lots of fluids in, but it's been tough. So, and as I say that, my right leg is starting to cramp, even though I've had a stop. And, that's not fun. Oh, that is painful. Anyway, and there goes the left one too now as well. Cramp on both legs. Kids will love that one. Well, we'll see how far I get today. But oh man, it's been gorgeous. But it's been hot, really, really hot. I think it's been like 36 degrees in the direct sunlight, 32 in the shade. Even now, it is 26 degrees. Stopped at a refuge last night. It's too stormy in the morning. Excuse me. I started about 5 this morning. Legs have recovered a little bit, but still struggling along, but it'll be all right. Got about 4.5 hours sleep, and then had to climb another 800, 900 meters over 6k to get onto this balcony road. Yeah, just riding along here, and it's really quite pleasant. You guys okay?
So I made it up onto that balcony road on day 2 after sleeping at the refuge, doing 100k on day 1, and then having to stop. It was about 11 o'clock at night because my legs were cramping up far too much. But the salt road was just beautiful. But again, it was hot on this day, and still the effects of those 2 cumulative days really took their toll.
Oh, I'm going to turn the camera off now because you don't want to see me suffering up this hill.
So my hope of being able to ride into the ride really struggled because, as I just said, it was struggle on every climb, and really hitting into cramps on every day, despite my best nutrition and fueling strategy to try and keep well fueled. At this point, we come towards the end of the salt road, and then drop down back into the town of Tendi, where I stopped for lunch, or stopped for a late lunch, had some food, but then really I couldn't go much further. Okay, it's 4 in the morning. I stopped early last night. I was so tired. Stayed at this little caravan, which was very kind from this person who I met on the road, and an outdoor shower, dry toilet. So, all good fun, but good night's sleep. So ready to go again now. See how I get on. So that day 2, where I ended up stopping just after Tendi, ended up being about 110 kilometers with 2,500, nearly 3,000 meters of climbing. As I said in the video, I was spent and really struggling, and thankfully found that caravan to stay. 2,500 meters on the Coda Bonet. $300 or so more meters to the top. 7 o'clock in the morning. Quite stunning, but quite difficult. I'm on top of the world. Wow. Look at this place. This is pretty spectacular. This is on top of the La Bonet. 2,802 meters. Quite chilly. And that extra rest set me up for a stronger day on day 3, where I was able to start getting a little bit more back in the legs. So I got 140 kilometers in. I got just shy of the start of the Coda Bonet gravel climb. I'd done most of the road climb, and I stayed at a very nice Airbnb in the little town just before, just 30 kilometers shy of CP1, with the aim of getting to CP1 on Tuesday morning before the cut-off at midday. Getting to the top of the Coda Bonet actually proved to be quite an important milestone, and then this amazing descent that you can see on the screen just now. Just incredible views. It was road for the first couple of kilometers from the top, from the Chemin de la Bonet, which is the highest paved road in France, potentially in Europe. I think there's some argument over that, but we rode on the road just for like 1.5 kilometers, before turning off onto the gravel track that we had come up.
Hey, yeah, good. It's beautiful. It's beautiful up there. It's a bit chilly.
So it was a little bit of an out and back to drop down then on this just beautiful gravel track and single track down into the refuge at CP1. The weather was glorious on the Bonet, as you can see, and just made for a fantastic experience and descent. And then coming onto this little bit of track, and which went into single track. I don't think I recorded the single track bit because it was getting a little bit. I had to concentrate on everything to be able to stay on the bike, but really benefited from having the full sus XC bike that I had with me, which was great fun. I got into CP1 just 2 hours before the cutoff, and a little pep talk from Katie Jane enabled me to crack on, and then make my way to Embrun, which ended up being a little further than I thought, but again, hot day, but still fantastic day. Ended up being a real good day. So that one was 155k, finishing in thunderstorms on top, leading into La Residual.
That bad boy is coming to get us. Welcome to mountain weather. Ooh, here it comes. Fun.
So I properly did get caught in that thunderstorm. A lot of hike a bike over the top to complete that day. Like I say, 155k and 4,500 meters of climbing, which then took us on to the next day, which kind of felt a little bit like a transition stage actually, to get from Bonet and La Residual over to the Coda Sumeia. But this was this video here is coming up the back of the Coda Isizuad on this this hiker bike section to the Coda Airs at 2,200 meters or something like that. But yeah, what a great fun piece of road there this was, or a fun track to get up to the top. Not sure I appreciated it at the time, but just look at those views. You can hear Gianluigi in the background doing a piece to camera on his amazing Instagram stories. They were fantastic. He took a great picture of me climbing up there. Called it the Coda Isizuad, and it was hard, but stunning. So after just over 100k and 3,500 meters of climbing, I reached the town of Bonet at the foot of the Coda Sumeia. I decided to stop there and finish for the day.
Those Italians know how to do bike tunnels.
So I started early on the climb to Coda Sumeia. He started at about 5 o'clock.
Into the blazing sun. 2,600 meters, something like that. Heading up to 3,000. Another hour or so of climbing, I think. And then come back down this way.
And the video you see here is just as getting up past the initial road climb and then gravel climb up into the valley that leads on to the last 400-500 meters of climbing to the summit. The weather was gorgeous. I couldn't have wished for a better climb or a better day up in the high mountains. It was just an absolutely gorgeous day. When I reached the summit and into the refuge, I took some pictures, went inside, completely changed my clothes into dry clothes so that I could descend and stay warm. And it was just a fantastic morning. I posted on my Instagram that morning that it had been the perfect bike ride, the perfect bike morning on the bike, and that I needed to post it right there and then, because who knows what would happen that afternoon. Something may come along that would spoil the day. But here's the descent coming down from the Coda Sumeia at just over 3,000 meters. The track is a 4x4 track that has been used for years for those getting up to the top for all sorts of events. There's pictures from the 60s of little Renaults and Peugeots up in the top, enjoying the amazing views.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm well. Chapeau, you're doing great.
Thanks. It's been a journey.
Yeah, it's Ray, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to enjoy it at the top.
Okay.
It's beautiful up there.
It took me about 5 hours from Bonet to climb to the top, and then just over an hour to descend back down into the village, into the town, to then resupply for the afternoon and evening. It was such a gorgeous morning, and just a perfect morning on the bike.
Hey, Andrea.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You did it in the morning.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Wow. And it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky.
It's going to be perfect weather up there.
The weather, yes.
As I was coming up, Laura, I think, was coming down. She went up overnight. She said it was freezing.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Once you get down to the bottom of the Coda Sumeia, you're back into Bonet, and from there the road climbs back up out of Italy and back into France over the Coda Shell, and then back into the Navaci, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, valley, where it then climbs out of on a single track road or path out of the valley.
So I might record a little bit of this single track. Ooh, no, wrong way. Touch me at the moment, and I'm making stupid mistakes.
As you climb up off this path, then it becomes a hiker bike up to the Coda Isizuad at 2,496 meters. The significance of the climb to the Coda Isizuad is that it brings you into the Galibier Valois Valley, So
Messy.
after quite a significant hiker bike and basically a mule track or a goat track, lifting the bike over rocks and stones, you then drop past 2 lakes and then drop down into the Galibier Valley, joining the road at the restaurant or the little shack at the foot of the switchbacks, and then drop down the valley road into Valois and past to the Col de Telegraph into Saint Michel de Marianne, where I stopped for something to eat. And then started the road climb out to the next valley towards CP2. As I was climbing up, I was stopped by a guy driving up, asking why there were so many cyclists on this very quiet road that he never sees cyclists on. Told him about the Alps Divide. Told him what I was up to, and this was about 11 o'clock at night, and he asked, well, where are you heading now? And I said, well, I'm going to ride a little further and then look for somewhere to stay. He offered me his spare room, so I got a very nice warm place to sleep that night to then set me up for the next day.
I need to keep moving, but these views are just so beautiful. I wanted to stop and take pictures all the time. But got to keep moving. The goal today is CP2 this afternoon. It closes at midnight, so I want to get there long before that. And then make a good start into the final jump. That hurt.
So after doing 130k the day before, I was 85k away from CP2, with the CP in my mind closing at midnight on the Friday. Actually, it turned out it was 10 o'clock. My aim was to try and get there in the late afternoon. I made it to CP2 at 5 p.m, having gained 3 hours on my time from CP1, so I was feeling a little better about myself and hopeful that I would actually make it to the end of the ride. I left CP2 at 6 and climbed out, finishing off the rest of the climb out of the valley and heading over down past the lake onto a hiker bike section, and then onto this next section that you see on the video.
Just after CP2, just had to do descent, then climb, then a hiker bike to finish off the climb, and now it's a descent down to a lake. It might well be too dark before I get there to see anything, so hopefully this picking up. We got some snow peak mountains to our right, sun setting over to the west, to the left, obviously we're north. It's actually quite mild. Thankfully there's no wind blowing. We'll see how we go. So I can maybe just show around a little bit. Gone over the top of the Col de Gites, and just making my way to the unpaved road. This is just a bit of a walking trail, so good. You get to see a little bit of what's going on. Oh, not sure which the camera will pick up. There we go. Back on to seeing a bit more of what we're up to. This is the path. This is the route. This is called hiker bike. You see, that is the path. It goes all the way around.
and then loops back, and then we get onto a road somewhere down there. I did about an extra 45k after CP2 that night, totaling about 135k for the day, with close on 5,000 meters of climbing over the Coda Isizuad, and then also the Coda Jolly. And as you saw from that picture, I absolutely did see an amazing sun or moonlit lake. It was a fantastic evening. I camped in this little village just before, hidden down into the valley with Chamonix and Chamonix Mont Blanc, and just slept on a bench underneath the church. I had a great night's sleep, and then set up for the penultimate day into Switzerland, through Switzerland, and back out towards the final 100k.
There's an air display going on over on the other side of that ridge. By the way, we're in Switzerland. Passed through Chamonix Mont Blanc. To be honest, it was very busy.
In total, I did about 115 kilometers, 4,500 meters of climbing to get through Switzerland and up onto the climb again, the last pass to drop down towards Lake Geneva. The last pass of the day took us over 1,600 meters, the Coda Vosa and the Coda Montet, before staying in a half-built garage type storage area as the rain came in. It started raining and was pretty persistent from leaving Martigny in Switzerland. So I decided to stop at about midnight and see if the rain would clear off before doing the last push to the finish line. This section of descent was quite technical for me, with loose, shaly paths, quite steep. But I think others rode it. I rode sections of it. I woke up at about 4 in the morning and the rain was still coming down. So I decided to give it another hour. And then by 5, although the rain was still coming down, it had eased off. So it meant that I had a fairly dry road climb up to the next section of single track and slight hike bike, before getting just to the top, where it was then kind of 70 kilometers to the finish.
It's like this is 2,000 meters up, 70k from the end. It's all a bit wet, a bit narrow. It's actually quite good fun though. Oh. Bit bleak up here at the moment though. I'm sure there are wonderful views around. This is it. Hey! So this is the end. Wow. Oh, are you sure?
I am.
Oh,
Good to see you.
well done, well done. Thank you. Chapeau. Well done, you guys. Well done. Oh, well done.
You did it. You well done.
You made it. Your
And
knee didn't give you too much
half the fork
problems.
that we did.
I know. I lost it halfway.
Oh no.
I arrived into Tonalaban at 3:49 in the afternoon. 8 days, 3 hours and 49 minutes from the start to cover that 1,075 kilometers and 33,000 meters of climbing. A little bit more than the planned route, but that was due to deviations and me forgetting my jacket back in that caravan. But what a route, what an incredible journey. I wasn't sure that I would be able to complete the route, coming in kind of undercooked, not having trained really specifically and not really knowing the route very well. But an incredible route nonetheless. I was glad to be able to kind of ride into form. It took me a little longer than I hoped, but really, really enjoyable and such beautiful scenery. The route itself was actually designed as a tour in the first place, so it can be bike packed, and it's available on the website to download with instructions on how to follow that route and enjoy it in its full glory. Maybe taking a little bit more time than we did on the Ultra event this year. My thanks to Katie Jane and to Lee for accommodating me at the last minute on this ride, and for all the effort they put in. It's a superb ride and a superb route, and one that I would highly recommend. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this more in-depth review of the route and my attempt at the Alps Divide. If you've enjoyed this, then please check out the other videos on my channels, such as the Hellenic Mountain Race, or El Piri from this year, or Dale's Divide, or the Atlas Mountain Race and Trans-Pyrenees from previous years. Thanks for watching, and until next time.